Hey, I'm Rett, and this is my Greek-American wife, Katina. I'm turning 40 this summer, and I'm taking the opportunity to travel Greece and learn more about the people and culture that make this country so beautiful. Don't forget to like and subscribe to follow along. Πάμε στην Ελλάδα. I have recently heard more buzz from many Greeks I know about how great Sifnos is. And if I'm being honest, there's one thing that attracts people to this island, which is exactly the reason we are here now. It's well known as a foodie destination, and we came ready to eat. After a fairly short ferry ride from Milos, we rented a car and headed to the small coastal town of Kastro where we would be staying. I went to meet our host, he walked me to our Airbnb and said 3 words in English. He pointed as he said, food, shop, and turned in the other direction and said, bar. After settling in, we took a walk around town and found ourselves in awe of how peaceful and beautiful this town is. An ancient town built at the top of an oceanside cliff makes for some beautiful scenery. We were a bit tired after a few days in Milos, so we stayed in Kastro for the day, having wine, cocktails, our first delicious meal on the island, and enjoyed the sights. The following day, we went to the island's main town of Apollonia. We were quick to realize that this island keeps the traditional siesta. You still find this across a lot of Greece, but it doesn't always exist in some of the more tourist locations. In Sifnos, the town streets were quiet all day, and the only crowds we would see were at the beaches. We had lunch at a magnificent beachside restaurant, Omega 3, and a short stay at the beach before heading back to Kastro to get ready. When we returned to Apollonia that evening, the town had completely come to life. It was astonishing to see the disparity from the quiet community here during the day. The shops and restaurants were overflowing with energy. We were told by the locals it's the simplicity of the Sifnian dishes paired with the incredible local produce that makes the cuisine so delicious. Continuing on our expedition to apparently eat everything in sight, we toured Narlis Farm, a local source of food on the island where after feeding us an incredible breakfast, Yorgo, or George, taught us the ins and outs of the cuisine and the uniqueness of the produce.
Now I live like the 60 years before, and I take the time back. I feel one part of nature.
With the farm passed down through generations, Yorgo has gone back to farming using the old natural ways of the island. He uses a dry farming technique that he learned from his grandfather. This lended to some of the most delicious and the juiciest produce I have ever eaten. This island is also a big part of the history of Greek cuisine, as Nikolaos Tselismintis, a famous Greek chef from Sifnos, wrote the first Greek recipe book, a book that has been on shelves of many Greeks for generations. Narlis Farm became popular because he went back to the traditional dishes and they grow their own crops to be able to make things truly traditional and revive Sifnian cuisine. With the increase of food tourism here, Yorgo hopes that those visiting are coming out of admiration for the Sifnian culture.
After we have the tourist business, we love the people with culture. We can keep these people, be friendly with these people, and then love these people, and these people also love us, and always we have this kind of the people in the island.
That evening in Kastro, we revisited a local restaurant, Astro, which has the best moussaka I have ever eaten. Except for Katina's. And we recounted what stands out about this island.
Sifnos. Learning traditional cooking from a person who's trying to revive the traditions of Sifnos was a very cool and unique experience, especially since it was on his family's farm, which has been in his family for generations.
I love this town Kastro we're staying in. It's very quiet, it's chill, it's beautiful. The stars we saw are just unreal from here.
There are really no bad views on this island because it's so mountainous and there's so many valleys.
Katina often jokes that you have to risk your life to experience the best views in Greece. While it is a slight exaggeration, it can be somewhat surprising when you have to hike a tumultuous path up a hillside to a tiny church with nothing but the occasional white stone to guide you. It's a wonder the Greeks were able to build some of these churches. These that they built as a prayer or at the site of a miracle rather than at practical locations. It's just another display of Greek romance, as evident when what we discovered at the summit was the most incredible sunset we'd seen all trip. Simplicity and tradition isn't only what defines the cuisine of Sifnos, it characterizes everything from the streets to the tranquility offered by its breathtaking views. Don't forget to like and subscribe to follow along.